shifted in this connection, and it did not shift slowly, it shifted overnight. There is a turning point sitting right at the top of this reading, and the cards want you to feel it. Whatever has been building between you two reached a moment of decision, and that moment already happened. This person made a decision about you, about this connection, about what they are willing to do. It was not a small decision. The cards are showing the weight of it, the full gravity of what they chose. This is the kind of decision that changes the direction of a situation, and the direction has now changed. Something cracked open for this person in the quiet hours when everything else was still and silent. In that stillness, something became clear to them, clear in a way that daylight had not allowed before. The cards are showing a realization, the kind that hits the chest and does not leave when morning comes. They lay there in the quiet, and something finally settled inside them, deep and undeniable and real. A clarity sharp and honest about you, about this connection, about what they actually want from it. The cards are not showing a person who talked themselves into something. This was a knowing that arrived. It came the way truth often comes, quietly, without warning, without build-up, just suddenly there. The moment it arrived, something inside this person shifted from wondering into deciding. The battle between fear and love, between self-protection and choosing you, is over. Love won. The cards are showing they did not turn back this time. They took a step forward, and they are still stepping. Every feeling they pushed down, every moment they walked away from, every night they sat with this alone. All of it reached a tipping point, and the tipping happened, and now the motion is real and active. What is leading them now is a decision from the deepest and most honest part of who they are. The cards are showing a resolve in them, one that has a quiet steadiness, a groundedness to it. This is not the energy of impulse. It is the energy of a person who gave themselves full permission, permission to want you, to pursue this, to stop letting hesitation be the thing that runs the show. The cards are picking up on something that feels irreversible, a line that has been crossed internally. Once a person makes a decision from this deep, quiet place, they do not easily unmake it. There is an urgency forming in their energy, a need to act before any more time slips past them. They are done watching time pass on this, done sitting in the in-between, done waiting for perfect. The perfect moment the cards are showing is the one they are creating for themselves right now. The overnight shift changed not just their thinking, but their entire posture toward this situation. They are leaning in now, where before they were pulling back, and the cards are clear on that shift. The thing that woke all of this up was a single honest moment, a clear decision made in the night. There is an aliveness in this energy that feels different from anything that came before this moment. The cards are showing a connection waking up from a long and difficult and heavy period of stillness. The momentum in this connection is no longer something waiting to happen. It is already in motion. This person is already moving, already forming what they are going to do and say. The timing of this reading is not a coincidence. You are feeling something real because something is real. The cards are showing a connection that has found its turning point, and the turning has already begun. The energy of this reading is one of action, of arrival, of a person moving finally with their whole heart. The cards are also showing a very specific energy around the word overnight and why it matters. The night, the quiet, the stillness is where the most honest thoughts finally get to surface. When the noise of the day is gone, when distractions fall, the truth gets louder, not quieter. The truth got louder for this person, and they finally completely stopped arguing with it. They stopped running the logic, stopped listing the reasons, stopped managing what they were feeling. The cards are showing a moment of pure surrender to what is real, and what is real is their love for you. The decision came from that surrender, and surrender when genuine produces the clearest kind of action. The cards are showing what is coming from this person, has that clarity behind it, that surrender beneath it. It is not frantic, it is not desperate, it is intentional, it is grounded, pointed directly at you. The foundation of this reading is a person who woke up knowing and is moving in the direction of that knowing. Now let's go deeper and see what is underneath this. The cards are turning to your side now, and there is just as much happening here as there is on theirs. You have been carrying something through this period, something that has not fully had a place to land. The uncertainty of this situation has been sitting with you in ways you have not always been able to name. There are moments where you feel something is about to change and you cannot explain where that feeling comes from. The cards are showing that the intuition you have been carrying is not random and it is not wishful thinking. Something in you has been picking up on the shift in their energy, even before the words have arrived. That is what intuition does. It receives what logic has not yet been given permission to process. The cards are showing a person on your side who has been quietly watching, feeling, and waiting, not in a passive way, but in the way of a person who is very attuned to what is happening beneath the surface. You have felt this connection stir, felt it move, felt something approaching, and the cards are confirming that the first emotional layer the cards are pulling up on your side is a guarded kind of hope. Not the loud, open hope that announces itself, but the quiet kind, the kind you keep close to protect. You have hoped before, and hope has not always been met where you needed it to be. So you hold it carefully. The cards are not asking you to throw that guard away, they are asking you to simply notice it is there. There is a hope in you around this person, around this situation that you have not let yourself fully own. You have kept it at arm's length, told yourself to be realistic, told yourself not to read into things. The cards are showing that the instinct underneath all of that caution is telling you something different. Something in you knows that this connection is not finished, knows that the story has not reached its end. That knowing has been sitting with you through every quiet moment, through every time you thought of them. The second emotional layer coming through is a tiredness, a real and honest weariness from waiting. You are tired of the uncertainty, tired of not knowing where this stands, tired of living in the gray. The not knowing has taken something real from you, a kind of ease, a kind of peace that you are ready to have back. The cards are showing a person who is ready for resolution, ready for clarity, ready for something to move. You do not need the resolution to look a certain way. You just need it to be real and honest and clear. The emotional state on your side is one of readiness, even if readiness comes wrapped in some nervousness. There is a part of you that is bracing, that is preparing for the possibility of something arriving. The cards are picking up that you have been more alert lately, more present to signals, more aware. As if something in your body, in your gut, is telling you to pay attention right now, to stay open. The cards are confirming that instinct because what your body is feeling is what the energy is doing. There is also something else on your side, a vulnerability that has been sitting just underneath the surface. You care about this person more than you may let the outside world see, more than you always admit. That care has not gone anywhere through this period. It has actually clarified and become more honest. You know what you feel, even when you are not sure what to do with it, even when it feels inconvenient. The cards are showing a heart on your side that is open quietly, but genuinely and honestly open. Open to hearing what this person has to say, open to what might be coming, open to where this could go. The cards are also showing a longing in your energy, one that is specific and rooted and real. Not a general longing, but a longing for this person, for the specific way things feel when they are close. There is something in you that recognizes this connection as different, as something worth staying open for. The cards are showing that recognition sitting in your chest, settled and very steady, even through the uncertainty. What the cards want you to take from this layer is that your feelings are valid, your instincts are real, the restlessness you have been feeling, the quiet sense that something is about to shift is not imagined. Your energy is already in a deep state of receiving, already leaning toward what is coming toward you. The cards are showing a person who is emotionally prepared for this, even if they do not fully know it yet. You are more ready for this than you give yourself credit for, and the cards are absolutely clear on that. What is moving toward you meets a heart that is present, that is feeling, that is real, and that is quietly open. Let's continue and see what the cards are showing. The cards are now going directly into the mind of this person, into what drove the decision they made. Because a decision this significant, this sudden, this life-changing does not come from nowhere. There is a reason it happened overnight. There is a reason it happened now, and the cards are showing it. The first thing coming through is that something happened, something they experienced, something they felt. It may have been a thought, a dream, a moment of clarity that arrived without invitation or warning. The cards are showing a flash of realization, sharp and sudden, the kind that cannot be unfelt or unseen. In that moment, something about the reality of losing you became more real to them than it had ever been. Not as a concept, not as a distant possibility, but as something that could actually happen, actually be true. The weight of that hit them in a way that rearranged something fundamental inside of them overnight. There is a specific fear that drove this, not the fear that makes a person run, but the fear that wakes them. The fear of looking back one day and realizing they let the most significant connection of their life go. The fear of watching time pass and understanding too late that you were irreplaceable and they knew it. That fear is not a comfortable fear, but the cards are showing it served a very necessary purpose. It broke through every wall they had built, every excuse they were hiding behind, every reason to wait. The cards are showing a person who looked at their situation honestly, possibly for the first time in a while. They looked at what they were doing, at how much time had already passed, at what they were actually risking. The motive behind the decision is a person who finally allowed themselves to see clearly without filters. What they saw was that their feelings for you have not changed, have not faded, have not found a substitute. What they also saw is that the window does not stay open forever, and that reality landed hard. The cards are showing a person whose motive is love specifically and directly, without complication. Not love mixed with strategy, not love mixed with calculation, just love that finally got to be the loudest thing. There is also a motive rooted in a specific kind of regret, the kind that comes from wasted time. They have spent time in distance, in silence, in holding back, and they felt every day of that waste. The overnight decision was partly a refusal to add one more day to a list of days already lost. They said to themselves, in the quiet, enough, not one more day of this, not one more morning of waiting. The cards are also showing a motive tied to identity, to who they want to be and how they want to show up. They looked at the person they had been in this situation, the hesitant person, the one who kept pulling back. That version of themselves, the cards are showing, is not who they want to be any longer, not in this. They want to be the person who moves, who says the thing, who chooses love even when it is terrifying. The decision they made is partly about you and partly about who they are becoming in choosing you. The cards are showing a motive that has real depth to it, a motive that is personal and layered and honest. There is also something in their motive around specific things they want to say to you, to finally give you. Words they have been holding, truths they have been sitting on, things they have never said out loud before. The overnight decision included a decision to stop holding those things, to bring them forward, to let you hear them. The cards are picking up on a specific desire to be fully known by you, to drop every performance and pretend. They are tired of the version of themselves they showed when they were protecting their heart from you. They want you to know the real version, the one that thinks of you constantly, the one that never let go. The motive behind the action they are now taking is to finally give you access to that version of them. The cards are also showing a motive tied to a simple and powerful desire, the desire to be with you. Not to talk about it, not to circle it, not to sit near it and pull away, but to actually close this gap. The overnight decision was the decision to stop tolerating the distance and start doing something about it. The cards are clear. Every layer of their motive points back to one central truth. They choose you. They chose you in the dark. They chose you in the quiet. They chose you when no one was watching. That kind of choosing is the most honest kind, and the cards are showing it is exactly what happened here. The motive is not complicated when you strip everything back. It is just a person who loves you and is done waiting. Now let's move forward and see what is coming through. The cards are now showing the action, the actual movement this person is making, and it is already happening. This is not about what they might do. This is about what they are actively doing right now. The decision was made in the night, and the morning brought with it a person ready to act on it. The first action the cards are showing is that they have already started composing what they want to say. Whether in their head, on paper, or on a screen, they are working on what to bring to you. The words they are putting together are not casual. They are not surface level. They are carrying weight. They are taking their time with this because they understand that you matter, that this moment matters. This is not a person firing off a message without thought. This is a person building something intentional. The cards are showing care in the way they are approaching this, a careful kind of urgency, deliberate and real. There is also an action forming around timing. They are thinking about when, not just how and what they want the moment to be right. Not perfect because they know perfect does not exist, but grounded. Right enough means when the words are ready, when they feel anchored in the decision they made. The cards are showing that moment is very close. The preparation is nearly done. The reach is almost here. The second action the cards are showing is a letting go of the old approach, a conscious shift entirely. They are actively releasing the version of themselves that hid, that held back, that led with protection. There is an internal action happening alongside the external one, a clearing of old patterns and old armor. They are stepping into a version of themselves that is more honest, more present, more willing to be seen. That internal shift is part of the action too, because showing up differently requires becoming different first. The cards are picking up a preparation energy, the kind that lives right before a person makes their move. Like a breath before speaking, like a pause before stepping forward, there is a gathering happening in them. They are collecting themselves, standing fully behind the decision, anchoring into what they chose overnight. The cards are showing that with every hour that passes today, the action gets closer, the reach gets nearer. There is also an action the cards are showing around what they plan to bring when they come to you. Not just words, but a presence, a consistency, a willingness to show up in ways they have not before. They are thinking about the after, not just the first contact, but what sustains beyond that moment. This person is thinking in terms of something real and lasting, not a moment, but a foundation being built. The action is not just reach out, the action is reach out and stay, mean it, and prove it over time. The cards are showing a person who has thought about this fully, not coming unprepared or half-hearted. Every part of what they are doing right now is being shaped with you and this connection in mind. There is an energy of focus in them today, a single pointed focus that cuts through everything else. Whatever is happening around them, their attention keeps returning to this, to you, to what is forming. The cards are also showing a physical restlessness and energy in them that wants to move and act now. They are not comfortable sitting still because the decision has activated something that needs to be expressed. The cards are showing a person lit up with the urgency of what is about to happen, vibrating with it. The action is coming, and the cards are showing it is not days away, it is very close in their timeline. They have crossed the point of deliberation, past the weighing and the wondering and the second guessing. What is sitting in them now is pure momentum, a made mind and an open heart moving together as one. The cards are also picking up a bravery in what they are doing, a real courage in the step being taken. Because reaching across a distance when you are not sure of the reception takes something significant. They are doing it anyway because the alternative, staying silent, has become completely unbearable to them. The cards are showing a resolve that is not loud, it is quiet and deep, the most reliable kind of resolve. This person is not performing this decision, they are living it, acting from it, moving because of it. The cards are showing a person who is not waiting for a sign, they are becoming the sign themselves. Every action they take today is an act of love, an act of choice, an act of finally being done with fear. The cards are clear, the action is already in motion, the direction is set, and the direction is you. There is no hesitation left in their energy, only forward, only toward, only what is already unfolding. Now let's move into the next layer. The cards are now pulling forward the hidden confessions, the private desires, the things never spoken. This is the layer that lives underneath everything this person has shown, everything they have said. The overnight decision did not just come from love, it came from a private truth they can no longer hold. The first confession the cards are bringing up is that they have been lying to themselves for a long time. Telling themselves they were fine, telling themselves the distance was manageable, telling themselves it passed. None of it was true, and somewhere in the quiet of last night, they finally stopped pretending it was. The lie fell away, and what was left underneath it was a love so clear it could not be argued with. That is the confession at the root of everything. I was never okay. I was never over this, not even close. The second thing coming through is a hidden desire to be the person who shows up for you fully this time. Not the version that came halfway, not the version that loved you quietly and then disappeared without warning. They carry a private shame around how they have shown up before, and it has been weighing on them heavily. The desire underneath the action is to rewrite that, to be the person you can actually count on and trust. They want to prove something, not to the world, not to anyone else, but to you specifically and to themselves. The cards are showing a confession tied to pride, a pride that cost them more than they understood at the time. There were moments they let pride make the decisions, moments they walked away when they wanted to stay. They confess that in the private language of their own thoughts, and it sits in them with a particular sting. The overnight decision was also a decision to stop letting pride be the thing that drives their behavior. The third confession coming forward is about how much they have missed you in ways that go beyond words. Not the general missing that comes with distance, but the specific kind, the kind that knows exactly what it misses. They miss the way you think, the way you see things, the way you respond, the way you make them feel seen. The cards are showing a private grief around that, a grief they have carried without being able to name it. They grieved you in their own way, quietly in the in-between moments when no one was watching them. The hidden desire underneath that grief is a wish that things had gone differently from the beginning. A wish that they had been braver sooner, more open sooner, more honest about what they felt much earlier. The cards are also pulling up a confession around how often you have crossed their mind through this distance. More times than they would ever say out loud, more times than feels comfortable to admit even to themselves. You have been a constant, a quiet constant running underneath everything they have done and thought and felt. The confession is that removing you from their thoughts was never something they were actually able to do. The desire underneath that confession is for you to know it, to feel the weight of how present you have been. They want you to understand that the distance was never emotional, it was only physical and circumstantial. Their heart, the cards are showing, was never actually somewhere else. It was always pointed in your direction. The next hidden layer the cards are surfacing is a desire for a completely fresh start with you, a beginning where they come as the person they are now, changed by everything this distance taught them. That is the quiet hope they carry, that you will be able to feel the difference, that it will be visible. The deepest desire the cards are uncovering is to be fully let in by you, to be allowed to be close again, not in a cautious way, not in a halfway way, but in the way that feels like genuine belonging between two people. They crave that. The ease of it, the safety of it, the specific peace that only existed when you were near. The cards are showing a person who knows exactly what they want, and what they want is a life with you in it. Not a complicated version, not a perfect version, just an honest and close and real version of this together. The final confession the cards are laying down is the simplest and the most significant one of all. They love you. They chose you in the dark, and the overnight decision was the moment they stopped hiding that. The confession is that it never required anything to stay alive. It simply stayed because that is what it is. The cards are showing a quiet desperation in them too, a desperation born entirely from how deeply they care. What they desire most above everything else is for that love to finally land, to finally be received by you. Let's keep going and see what is here for you. The cards are now moving into the near future and into the guidance that is coming through for you. This final layer is going to show you what arrives and how to meet it when it does. The near future energy is one of arrival, something that has been in motion is about to land. The cards are showing a contact coming, a direct reach, something from this person headed your way. It is already in motion, already being shaped, and the cards are showing it is very close in timing. When it comes, it is going to carry a different weight than what you have experienced before from them. There will be something in it that feels more real, more open, more like the person you always sensed was there. The cards are showing a rawness in what is coming, the kind that only happens when walls finally come down. They are not coming to you polished, they are coming honest, and that is going to be felt immediately. The near future is also showing a shift in the dynamic between you two, a real and visible shift. The energy that has been frozen or stagnant in this connection begins to move, begins to breathe again. Something thaws, something opens, something that felt distant and unreachable suddenly becomes very close. The cards are showing a conversation forming, one that has the potential to change everything between you. Not a surface conversation, but a real one where the honest versions of both of you finally get to meet. That meeting, when it happens, is going to feel significant. The cards are showing it carries real weight. The advice coming through for you in this layer is to receive what is coming without closing off first. The instinct to protect yourself may rise when this reaches you, and that instinct makes complete sense. The cards are asking you to notice it, acknowledge it, and then choose to stay open anyway. Open does not mean unguarded, it means present, it means willing to hear what is actually being said. You do not need to have your response ready before you have fully received what they bring to you. The advice is to let it land first. Let it settle. Give yourself the space to feel it before responding. The cards are also advising you to trust the shift you have been feeling because it is not in your imagination. What your intuition has been registering is the energy of this decision moving through the connection. You felt it before you had confirmation, and the cards are saying that sensitivity is worth trusting. The near future is also showing a moment of real clarity between you, clarity that replaces the fog. Everything that has been unclear, unsaid, unresolved begins to find its shape in what is coming. The cards are showing light entering the situation, not dramatic light, but the steady kind that stays. The advice for how you move through this is to lead with what is true for you, not with what is safe. This person is bringing their truth to you, and the cards are saying yours deserves to be brought as well. This is a moment for honesty on both sides, and the cards are showing both of you are ready for that. There is a possibility opening up in the near future here, one that is grounded and genuine and real. The cards are not showing a fairy tale, they are showing two people finally willing to be real with each other. That kind of realness is the most solid foundation anything can be built on, and the cards see it forming. The closing energy of this reading is one of forward motion, of something lifting, of a chapter beginning. The cards are also showing a peace forming in this situation, the kind that follows long and difficult waiting. That peace is not far off, it is part of what is coming, part of what arrives alongside the honesty. You have held up through something that required real strength, and the cards are acknowledging that fully. The decision was made overnight. The action is already moving, and what arrives is going to change things. The cards are leaving you with a clear message. Be here for this, be present, be willing to let it in. What is coming toward you has been earned through everything both of you have felt through this distance. The pain of this period, the waiting, the uncertainty, all of it has been leading somewhere worth reaching. The cards are showing a connection that chose itself in the dark with no audience and no guarantee. That kind of love is the rarest kind, and it is what is walking towards you right now with intention. Take care of yourself through this transition. Stay rooted in who you are and trust what is unfolding. What is coming is real, it is honest. And the cards are showing it is carrying everything you need to hear. The cards are now moving into the near future and into the guidance that is coming through for you. This final layer is going to show you what arrives and how to meet it when it does. The near future energy is one of arrival, something that has been in motion is about to land. The cards are showing a contact coming, a direct reach, something from this person headed your way. It is already in motion, already being shaped, and the cards are showing it is very close in timing. When it comes, it is going to carry a different weight than what you have experienced before from them. There will be something in it that feels more real, more open, more like the person you always sensed was there. The cards are showing a rawness in what is coming, the kind that only happens when walls finally come down. They are not coming to you polished, they are coming honest, and that is going to be felt immediately. The near future is also showing a shift in the dynamic between you two, a real and visible shift. The energy that has been frozen or stagnant in this connection begins to move, begins to breathe again. Something thaws, something opens, something that felt distant and unreachable suddenly becomes very close. The cards are showing a conversation forming, one that has the potential to change everything between you. Not a surface conversation, but a real one where the honest versions of both of you finally get to meet. That meeting, when it happens, is going to feel significant. The cards are showing it carries real weight. The advice coming through for you in this layer is to receive what is coming without closing off first. The instinct to protect yourself may rise when this reaches you, and that instinct makes complete sense. The cards are asking you to notice it, acknowledge it, and then choose to stay open anyway. Open does not mean unguarded, it means present.